Hello, welcome to Producer Profile. Producer Profile is a show where we showcase some of the talented people who work behind the scenes in the entertainment, business, and local communities while making positive influences on the lives of others.
Welcome to Producer's Profile. I'm Stella Winston, along with Orville Nelson.
Hello, Stella.
Hello, Orville. Our guest producer is Bashira Huda Khan. Bashira Huda Khan has a show called Huda Anisa. And to introduce Bashira's show, we're going to show a clip of her signature ending.
And this is from the show Huda Anisa?
This is from Huda Anisa.
All right.
Now, I recognize the music. The music to your ending is by Franz Butler, the producer.
Producer's
Profile. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
It was very nice. And that particular ending was directed by R.M. Cruz.
And I'd like to thank them both for that beautiful piece there. Okay,
well, let's first find out. Huda Anisa is an Arabic phrase that means guidance of women.
Yes.
Why that title?
Well, one, I look for something unique. Two, it says something about me. It could either be the guidance of women or Huda, the woman. Huda means guidance in Arabic. And Huda Anisa, in its original format, is a program that was dedicated to women in all walks of life, because I believe women are at the forefront of society. And that's not to go into men bashing, but if you look at it in reality, women have always been there. They say it's a man's world, but I believe we women run it. But in any situation, sometimes when there's a family structure, when the husband dies or there's a divorce, the women are left to take care of the family. And women have always done that to the best of their ability. And I'm a strong advocate of women performing home-based businesses so they could raise their children and be financially secure. And that's very easily done now in this time because of the computer.
Now, your shows, are they all always about women?
In the beginning it was. In the beginning it was, because in listening to the radio, in listening and viewing many programs, a lot of them are men-based. And I really believe that it's our time now. It's time. This is the year. These are the years of the woman. So that's why I carried it off like that. And only until recently there was a change. But I'd like to show a clip to show some of the versatility of the program. I have a woman, Dalis Torres, and she's a drummer. She plays the castanets. She does flamenco dancing, but she does this to help women as a therapy for women with HIV and AIDS. This will be the clip that we'll be seeing now.
Okay, until the clip is ready, could you please tell us, we didn't find out when your show comes on, which is very important.
Okay, the show is on every Sunday at 5:30 p.m., Channel 68 Cablevision, Channel 35 Time Warner. I'm also on in Manhattan and Queens and soon to be the Bronx. Also, I've had the positiveness of having my programs aired in Jersey, Chicago, North Carolina, and Virginia.
Well, we have to talk about that after we see the clip. So again, what will we be seeing on this clip?
You'll be seeing Dalis Torres. She's a drummer, castanet player, and a flamenco dancer, but you will see her in the light of playing the drums at this time.
Okay. Okay, that was lovely. So, is this a typical show that you would have that would showcase a woman's talent, such as
Oh, yes, but we go into discussions of health, education, of children's problems and whatnot. It was totally all aspects of the various positions that women were in and the things they do to sustain themselves.
that? Okay. What is your background, Bashira?
Oh, okay. Let's go. Okay. Previously, I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. I had a real estate business. In that, I did real estate, travel, notary, income tax, full service, and I used to travel a lot. Oh, and that got to be mundane after the advent of the computer, because now on the computer you can go get anything. I know round trip to Dallas, Texas is $241. You can get on the internet and get that same round trip cheap tickets for $75. So business has gone down, especially with the gentrification of the neighborhoods and whatnot, and the raising of the real estate.
Now, I know that Bashira has been on the radio.
And what station were you on in terms of the radio?
Back
AM,
then,
FM?
Back then it was, this was 20 years ago, I started in radio. It was WNWK on the FM dial. And I was really trained by the late Reverend Floyd W. King. And many people will realize who he was. He was the bicycling reverend. At
The bicycling reverend.
Bicycling reverend.
Okay.
Every time you seen him around Brooklyn, he was on the bicycle. And at the age of 75 years old, he bicycled from here to Birmingham, Alabama. He passed away about 5 years ago at the age of 85.
He sounds like my kind of reverend.
Right, and he was a wonderful man, and he gave me my start in radio. I was his announcer for many years.
So how long did you have that particular show?
Oh, about 8 years. About 8 years, along with my other business.
Have you ever been on AM?
Well, I am on AM now. Now I'm on WPAT 9:30 on the AM dial every Friday night from 12 midnight to 6 o'clock Saturday morning with a program called Al-Islam in America.
Al-Islam in America. And that again is at what time?
12 midnight Friday night to 6 a.m. Saturday morning.
On what station?
WPAT 9:30 on the AM dial.
Okay.
So you've been with broadcasting for a while. What
Yes.
made you come into television?
Because the market in radio, the prices were just astronomical, and you really had to find sponsors to back your program. So I could have been at BCAT years ago, but someone suggested, why don't you try that? I really am not too keen about being on camera. But it goes along with the territory, so to speak.
But you're the host of your show, aren't you?
Yes. But that's by coincidence right now, you know. I also do remote. I like to go out on shoots and whatnot.
Now, I want to ask, that the show that you have here, Huda Anisa, how long has it been on air?
It's been on air 3 years.
3 years, and
Yeah.
you said it airs in Chicago, Jersey,
Jersey
and North Carolina,
and Virginia.
and Virginia.
Yes.
How were you able to get it in all these different venues, these different states?
Okay. By a group called the Focolari, and also by Imam Abdul Baki Hamid, which I have had him many times as my co-host, guest host. You will see that in a clip later on.
Now, we also have a clip of the Focolari.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you some things about the Focolari. It's a wonderful group I met, and I'm Muslim, and the religion is Al-Islam. But I don't like the word so much religion. Religion is a social entity. It just gets us its thoughts. Whatever we are, it's the spirit within us, the light within us.
Yes.
And I think whatever we believe in, whoever we believe in, we always think of a higher power. When we get in trouble, even those who are agnostic, or what's the other word? Atheists?
Atheists, yes.
You have to believe in something. Because when you get in trouble, you don't say, oh, devil. I think we all say, oh, God, somewhere along the line.
Intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Intentions, really.
but I don't use the word religion because it keeps us at each other.
So you've done several shows with the Focolari. So let's look at this clip that we
Okay,
have.
great.
Okay.
Tell you a little bit about some of the work is that we do and why we're here today with our friends. For those of you who weren't here last week, maybe I'll just recap. It's an organization that began in 1943 during the war, and of young women especially, young Catholic women who wanted to put God first in their lives. And because of that, started to look and read the Christian scriptures and live them. And we said last week that one of the points that they found in the Gospels was a prayer that Jesus made to the Father before he died, that all may be one. And they were very struck by that, and they decided that would be then what they would try to live for above everything else. And so from that experience, things have grown and gone out from their small town in Italy to 180 nations, reaching millions of people. And being that we're working for unity, we try to look to all the places around us in our environment where we see divisions. And those are the places we try to key towards. And our method is the method that's, I guess, found almost in any different faith group, because it's a method of love. Because where there's not love, we've understood and discovered that bringing love, we also build bridges, we mend divisions, and we bring unity. And so that's the method that the Focolari employs, and it's something then that's brought us to reach out to people beyond our own faith group too, because it's something that we live together, and we live and discover that we're really brothers and sisters. And that's an experience that we've had here in the United States with the Muslim American Society, and that's what brings us here today, because we've been working together for a number of years now to build this unity based on love, this unity that's based on loving God, first of all, and then loving one another and those who we see, and really working together to show everybody else around us that, see, it is possible to work together, it is possible to build bridges, and it is possible to be very practical and do things about that. And so that brought us to a manifestation in Washington just this past November, and so we'll talk a little bit about that today too, and hopefully give you some information about both of our organizations and the work that we're trying to do together.
So, Bashira, that's the clip that I just saw here. It looks very interesting. There's a lot of different types of people there. How large is the Focolari, and what are they again, the Focolari?
The Focolari, as Patrick Markey said, started back in 1943. A group of young women got together because it was wartime, and they saw how people treated each other, whether it was a difference in color, whether it was a difference in religion. And the Focolari is a wonderful group. I've been to many affairs with them. They've been to Rome, to the Vatican. with W.D. Muhammad. He's the Muslim American spokesman. And we forged a relationship. You don't see Catholics and Muslims
That's
together.
what I find very interesting.
Yes,
Listening.
and it's been a wonderful 2 or 3 years that this association has come to us. And just recently I was with the Focolare. They have a retreat up in the Mariopolis Luminosa up in New Hyde Park. And it was a wonderful experience. Over 500 people were there from all over, different races, different ethnic groups and whatnot. And the love is genuine. And recently they were here with us on the in April on 116th Street Masjid. And there was over 500 people came. Germans, Jews, Italians, black, white, brown. And it's truly amazing.
Well, just listening to what you're saying and how you're saying it, it seems that you're very proud, you're very energetic about the fact that there's so many people there getting together.
Yes, because if you look at things in general, if you look at TV, you've got the white Catholics, the black, the black Catholics, you've got the white Baptists. Everything is broken down into color. Here, it's a forging of the brotherhood, and it's a wonderful thing.
Now, since I've been here at BCAT, I've worked a lot with you, Bashira, and I've seen that your show has evolved. It's when I first started, you did mainly shows with women, and now you have brought men onto your show. Tell me, how has your show evolved?
Okay, and doing that, I looked at it again, because so many men, there are good men out there, good, strong businessmen out there. They were coming to me, asking me if they could be on the program and whatnot. And for a long time, I said no. Then when I looked at it, I needed to create a balance. Like this structure here, like this structure here, you have to create a balance. And that's what I sought now. The balance was to have an all-encompassing man. So I chose Imam Abdul Baqi Hamid. And we'll see a clip in a few minutes. But it's a wonderful balance because he can take over the other part. There are positive things in men.
So what other part can he take over?
What other part can he take over?
Because you just said he can take over the other part.
Oh, okay. Well, he created the balance. And in some instances, he can interview the men. We do the double interviews and whatnot. He brings a different light to the program. He's chaplain of the Brooklyn House, and he see a lot of things there. And also, he's been to Rome with the Pope.
You mentioned the Brooklyn House, but I'm not sure. I don't know what it is. Maybe the audience doesn't.
The Brooklyn House is a downtown detention house. It's on Adams Street.
Okay, that's called the Brooklyn
I'm not
House.
clear whether you call them jails or prisons or what. I'm not clear.
Because the house of detention, I guess.
Yeah.
Yes,
And he brings that aspect to it. And he does the interviews in a certain way. And also, since I let him co-host my program, I started out co-hosting his radio program.
Okay.
And that's the show that you spoke of earlier in the program. And the name of
Cross-pollination. Great.
Yes.
And what's the name of that program again?
Al-Islam in America. And that program is dedicated to clear up the misconceptions of Islam, of Muslims. There are no black Muslims, there are no white Muslims. Islam knows no color. And people think a lot of Muslims are terrorists and whatnot. So that program is dedicated, we have 6 hours on the air now, and that program is dedicated to clear up all of the misconceptions.
Well, we have the clip ready with Imam Baqi.
Yes.
So let's look at that.
Okay.
To it last time, we got intricately for the youth, but a lot of people want to know about that evolution, that transition that took place, and we could probably continue from that point on. I think you could take it from there.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
And I would, and peace be unto the listening audience and the viewing audience, and I hope and pray to Allah that all of our situation develops to such point that it's pleasant for us.
Yes.
To appreciate being around each other. The human family itself is in a situation where there are a lot of people that are trying to disturb the direction that the Creator is taking in there.
Yes.
And What we need to know is regardless of what these people are doing, they have no power over the Creator, nor what He dictates. And if the faith in that statement is strong enough, then Satan is defeated.
Yes.
You know? And what makes Satan successful is when we repeat what Satan says to us that's not pleasant, and when we do things to each other that Satan does that isn't pleasant.
Yes.
You know, and one thing I like about what's taking place now is all of the great leaders. And what happens, we have to understand, even when Minister Farrakhan went off into what he wanted to do, he didn't really go off into it in the spirit of hating what Imam Warfadi Muhammad was doing. He went off into the spirit of, he had seen certain things happen to people that he knew, including his personal family, that had affected what he wanted to do and what he could accomplish. So he saw fit, rather than be a part of something that he couldn't give himself to completely because of what he was being distracted by, was to go off and work with what he was being distracted by. But I respected him because he still stayed with the black nation and the problems of the black nation.
Mm-hmm.
But the vision that he had was a lot different from the vision that Imam Warfadi Muhammad was presenting to humanity. And we have to understand it from the perspective of the Imam is a world leader, and he had been worldly traveled for years.
I am curious because you started off having your shows primarily as a women's program. And what did you say what the name of the program is?
Huda Anisa.
Which means?
The guidance of women.
So you started off with that impetus. You have evolved or grown or changed to incorporate men into your program. But the initial need that you saw of women coming together and supporting each other and creating a show, is that still there for you?
Oh, yes, it is, most definitely. Most definitely, because even in politics, you see that women are coming to the forefront. You see, and this is what we need to create that balance that's not there right now.
Now, in Islam, do you find that actually women, this is something that you're pushing out your chest, or excuse my, you're doing this to actually enhance women's role?
Yes, because in other countries, women are just that at home.
Well, how are you viewed then in the Muslim community as a woman that produces a television show? You also host a radio show.
Well, that's a whole different story. The evolvement is there now. Women are here. Women are just not going to sit in the house any longer. You know, if something happens to that husband, there's no brother, uncle, or whatever, they're stuck. So they need some leaders, some women leaders out here to bring them out. You know, they're in America now.
So what I'm getting at is the name of the show is still Huda Anisa.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh definitely. That's not going to change.
Okay.
You see, but
so what can we expect from Huda Anisa in the near future?
Okay, the whole purpose of the two programs is to really show the difference. God put the different tribes here that we may get to know one another, not that we may despise each other. And it's time for us to open up our hearts and love everyone. How can you profess to love God or a spiritual being when you hate your sister or brother? You see. So the Focolare says it very well. They have a song, Vive, and that means the love of God. And the words are wonderful to it. At some point, I'll air it on my program. But we need to love each other more.
Now, in the Western culture, the woman is unclothed, and a lot of times their bodies are what is exploited. But in the Muslim religion, the woman's body is clothed.
For example?
What you're
wearing here.
How does that impact on you as a Muslim woman here in the United States?
Well, I say to each his own, but we cover to hide our beauty. It's a mystery in a woman's beauty. And we can uncover at home or for our family, but not to the street.
But I know in Muslim countries, like if a woman shows too much of her, let's say her face or her hand, sometimes she could be, killed for that.
Well, that's society's rules, and that's why we need to show the actual differences and whatnot. Those are men's rules about the women covered in burqa and you can only see their eyes and whatnot. That's the men's rules. That's what we're trying to show.
Well, Bashira, I must say to you, this has been very interesting.
Extremely interesting.
And I'm going to make sure I take a look at your show.
Yes.
We have to wrap up now.
We've been talking with
Bashira
Bashira Khan
Huda.
and she has a show called Huda Anisa,
Huda Anisa, The Guidance of Women. And my
I'm
name is Orville Nelson.
And I'm Stella Winston. Thank you for watching Producer's Profile.
I wanted to
I'm gonna shake men's hands.